Going on, Leo? How are you doing? Hope you're doing super well. This is the Autistic Mystic, and this is going to be a reading for you for March 2023. So in this reading, Leo, we are going to take a look at your overall general energy for March. We're going to take a look at some things you do not see coming. We're also going to get some advice from your angels and spirit guides and much more regarding March 2023, Leo. But before we begin this reading, as always, I do want to take a moment, Leo, to let you know that you are very welcome here in this space with me as we move through this reading. And I really do appreciate you, Leo, in advance for taking the time to check this reading out. Now, if this general reading happens to resonate with you, Leo, definitely smash that like button. Subscribe down below if you have not already for future updates. That would also be greatly appreciated over here, Leo. So without further ado, I'm going to pull the energy and we'll see what it is that would like to come through for you for March 2023, Leo. As always, I would like to thank the angels, the interdimensional beings, and the spirit guides who are overseeing this act of divination for the sign of Leo. Okay. Leo. Alright, Leo, let's go ahead and start this reading off with some pre-shuffled oracle cards from the universe for you for March 2023. First energy that we have is Memento Mori. There might not be a someday. Alright, so Memento Mori. There might not be a someday, Leo. This really invites you to focus on the finite existence that this particular incarnation is going to provide you. Like, no one's promised tomorrow, and the illusion is that you think you have time. So basically, someday is not a day on the calendar, right? It's always a day, not someday. So what this really is about beating procrastination. Like if you have something you want to do, you better do it now because you're not going to do it There's never a perfect time to take action. And the big theme for you that I'm picking up on already for March 2023 for a lot of you, at least one of the themes, is really starting to act on what lights you up individually and not giving yourself any excuse to not act on it anymore in whatever way you feel. Memento Mori really invites you to meditate on your death daily, right? If you were to arrive on your deathbed, what would your regrets be? What do you say, oh, I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have gave that a shot. That's what you want to focus on right now. You also have the Phoenix rises into joyful abundance. So the Phoenix represents deep transformation, like death and rebirth here, Leo. So with the Phoenix being here as a message for you, as you transform your life from one lifeline to another, a lot of you are realizing you don't want to do what you thought you wanted to do anymore. Any sort of experience that you gained in an old lifeline is going to be so critical to your next one, and you don't want to think otherwise. A lot of you could be working a corporate job right now, or you could be working something where you feel like your soul's not in it. What you don't want to do right now is what I'm getting is whatever you're getting ready to give up, don't write it off as a waste of time, because it wasn't a waste of time. If you can pay attention to the synchronicity about you needed to go through exactly everything that you're going through right now, or that you have gone in the past when it comes to being in a dead relationship, dead work situation, dead living place, you've gained valuable knowledge that will assist you on your next thing that you have, but you need to make sure that you place value on that. Like even for me, when I was like working in a pizza place and I was chasing my dream. I was living out of my car in Vegas and I was working in a pizza place. I always knew the synchronicities that are happening to me right now in this very pizza joint are going to help me attain my dream because I'll have stories, I'll have knowledge and wisdom to draw upon. Everything that you've gone through, everything that's falling apart in your life, relationship, whatever, you've learned a lot, and it's going to be very important for you on your next journey. A lot of you need to realize you are Leo. You are meant to be, like, you have a very charmed life. You have the opportunity to create a very charmed life as a Leo in this reality, but it's up to you to place value on that. I also have starseed. Okay, so we're getting a little bit galactic here. You have the starseed energy. What I would say is, you know, what is the universe putting on your heart to do? What are the codes that you specifically are encoded with? Really what you need to do to find this, like, it's all about merging your heart and your mind. When you merge your heart and your mind, you can manifest whatever you want because it's coming from an authentic place. Authenticity, by the way, doesn't always look beautiful. Some of the biggest people who make it the biggest, they're the most vulnerable. Even you see what you see me doing on this channel, like putting my name as the autistic mystic. Like, people think it's all great now. You don't think it was vulnerable when I did that a few years ago? People are like, what is this? You know, I can't, you know, blah, blah, blah. Vulnerability is strength. Now, the thing I'm getting about starseed, and this is very important, what you're going to be focused on, Leo, in March 2023, or at least this is what the universe is putting on me to tell you, is you need to focus on what you get off on. Okay, so for some of you, I'm getting this is even like dark humor. Some of you want to be a comedian, but you think it's bad, or you think I don't have what it takes to do it. It doesn't matter about any sort of external result. You need to figure out, like, in your inner child, in your heart of hearts, like, what do you personally just get off on? Could be a little bit taboo. That's what you need to start doing. Don't do it for an end result that may come. But what I'm getting is, like, you just need to act on your passion, like what lights you up, because it's there. I know it's there for you. You know what it is as well. Now, for me, just to give you an example of, like, what I mean when I'm like, you need to get off on this. Like, for me, like, I get off on, like, understanding the law of attraction and understanding certain spiritual principles, how to bring that down here to manipulate energy to transform our lives. And, like, when I was sitting in college, I was getting ready to drop out of college. I remember sitting in the classroom, and I remember just I was getting off on the fact. I was like, really? Like, people in this classroom, probably a percentage of them know that thought creates reality. Like, probably a percentage of them know, like, you don't need to be doing anything other than tending to your inner state. Like, the law of attraction is real. I remember sitting in a classroom being, like, spewed just, like, kind of like an outdated teaching or whatever it was. And I remember just getting off on the fact that I'm going to create my own reality. And, like, I'm going to prove all these people wrong who are like, living in a very, like, drudgerous reality. Like, I just get off on, like, creating a beautiful life through certain spiritual principles. I just get off on it. And so that's why you see me here, like, being like the mystic, doing all this spiritual stuff. I just get off on it. And so there also is something about, I don't know why I'm getting this, but you using the backdrop of, like, humdrum depression to your advantage, or as many of you have noticed, Leo, we're moving into a pretty scary age in human history where all of our attention spans are sapped. You could say we're almost going to a certain level of, like, like a dystopian, like, everyone is just divided. It seems like we're regressing in human history. What I'm getting is you need to use that to your advantage right now, especially as a Leo, who people will pay attention to you when you do this. Like, if you are even, like, 1% of a savage and, like, you put your head down and you do what you know gets you off, you're going to run these people all over. Okay, so the fact that the world is degrading, people have no attention span, only makes it easier for you to rise to the top in whatever it is that you want to do. I'm just getting, you just need to do what you get off on. Okay, like, what do you get off on? Now, because, before we get into the tarot, because I personally get off on metaphysical principles and using them and helping people create their reality with them, let's do a little bit of a review of something that Bashar titled The 5 Laws of Creation. You can see this in the 7 Hermetic Principles. It's all and everything's the same thing. But let's review them so that you can use them to your advantage. The 5 Laws of Creation, if you can understand these 5 things, because it's going to seem very simple, but it's not. Each one will penetrate to the depth that you've never been. Trust me, or some of you have. Number 1, you exist. Number 2, everything is here and now. Number 3, the all are the one are the all. Number 4, what you put out is what you get back. And number 5, everything changes except for the first 4 laws. If you can understand these 4 laws of existence, you can literally do whatever you want in this reality. To explain it a little more so that you can understand how like to work with it with the law of attraction. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I am, whatever. Haven't been on camera in a while, so it's just like the overflow. You exist, number one, meaning energy cannot be created or destroyed. You exist. When you die, something, but you exist no matter what. You cannot be destroyed. You exist. You have to know that. You're in it. Memento mori, right? You exist. Number two, everything is here and now, meaning that the present moment is all that exists. Any change that you make in the present moment is a total change. Not only does it alter your past timeline, even though you can remember, oh, I had this past. No, when you change your energy now, you actually have a different past than you remember. You change your future timeline. Everything is here and now. The present moment is all that there ever is, and they're all that there ever will be. If you understand that, and you understand that you exist, reality becomes simpler. Number three, what you put out is what you get back. Are you putting out good energy? Are you putting out what you get off on? Or are you just submitting to some sort of drudgery? Number four, the all are the one are the all, meaning is that the microcosm is the macrocosm. You think the universe is out there. It's all within you. It's all the same thing. There is no up or down. Like an airplane, if you want to go up, you got to pull it down. It's like the underworld in Stranger Things. It's all connected. So I go like this. Guess what? Someone in Indonesia just made $1 million because I did this. Now imagine what focused intention over a period of time ripples that it can create. And then 5, everything changes except for the first 4 laws. So with that being said, because the magician is your opportunity, I figured that was a wise thing to do. The magician, and you could even reverse that. You can go into those laws if you want, but it's all the same thing. Anyway, the magician is your opportunity, Leo. So what I'm getting from this is you have so much potential within you. If you can simply give yourself permission to move towards what you get off on, right? What do you get off on, and realizing you can create happiness and you can create even a financial situation from what you get off on. What a lot of you are going to be doing is letting go of negative beliefs that tell you, I can't do that, I can't stand out, no one will understand me. Trust me. Because when we go back to the 5 laws of creation, the all are the one are the all. You think you're having these like little individual thoughts. You think that your private life is so unique. Put it out there. People will come to you in spades. So the magician is here in your opportunity. You have a lot of potential on the table to create what you want right now. Now your challenge is the 5 of Swords. All right. So the 5 of Swords is typically a destructive energy. This could be someone that you're, I'm just getting like people who are around you could have quite a negative worldview. This could be coworkers, people that you just surround yourself with. Like you may want to, in March, as you embark on this journey of doing what gets you off personally, you may want to surround yourself with people who have already attained what you want. Like if you want to be a comedian, become an assistant for a comedian or something like that, right? But the 5 of Swords is some sort of destructive energy that it's your challenge. We'll see why it's your challenge in a moment. Now, when it comes to your overall general energy here, I really feel like you are going to fall in love with it's going to sound weird, but I really do feel like you're falling in love with yourself and like your own private world, even though when you understand it from a deeper level, it's not so private. You have the devil, you have the you have the devil, the Knight of Cups, and also the Knight of Pentacles here in your overall general energy. So I definitely see you, and especially with the 5 of Swords in your challenge, I really feel like you are going to confront your own limiting beliefs. It's just coming through as limiting beliefs as to like you doing what you love for a living, or like you really being able to create a life surrounding what gets you off, rather than like creating a life and then like retreating into what gets you off. Like maybe you're working in a corporate job, but you want to be a comedian, but you don't like give it the time of day to think that could be a reality for you. If you dedicate your time and energy to it, you can. And so the Knight of Cups to the Knight of Pentacles, I feel like you're falling in love with the process of slow, gradual change and like really just admitting what you want out of life, even if it seems weird. And really like having a sense of urgency as well, because it's going to take time. You might as well start now. That's just what I'm getting, Leo. When it comes to what you don't see coming, here you have the Hierophant, you have the 7 of Wands, and you also have the Queen of Cups here. I definitely feel like you putting a wall up to some sort of authority. Some of you in March, depending on your level of consciousness, are literally going to be like, wow, like I can't believe that held me back. Like I can't believe that this frequency that has been implanted into me by the matrix or my roots. I can't believe this. Like, in what you don't see coming, you're going to be putting up a wall, a boundary to some sort of like orthodoxy power structure, and really like being ready to create your own power structure. Now, some of you here may be using, you may have to like do away with one power structure and get into another one, if that makes any sense. Okay, so like maybe like paying less attention to the values that have been like given to you by society, your job, or whoever you're surrounded by, and like really like nursing your own inner world. Also, the Queen of Cups here, and what you don't see coming, is like you having a new, I'm getting like a new sense of like you loving yourself so deeply that you forgive yourself for anything. And once again, going back to the 5 laws of creation, everything is here and now. What this means is that when you make a decision in the present moment, or you change any aspect of your frequency in the present moment by not being so harsh on yourself, realizing that everything happens at the right time, especially with the phoenix rising to joyful abundance, nothing has gone wrong. I really feel like a lot of you are where you need to be right now. But when it comes to your advice from your spirit guides, it's really interesting. You have the 6 of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Wands, and you also have the Queen of Swords here. Now, interestingly, you have the Queen of Wands in reverse when it comes to your advice. The Queen of Wands came out in reverse, Leo, when it comes to your advice. So, you know, what's coming through for some of you, this is not going to be for all of you, is like ego is like here to tell you that you're already the queen, you're already the king of this whole reality. And like that's like the pitfall that I do see a lot of you like falling into. Like the Queen of Wands in reverse, like this could be you not expressing your passion, or expressing it in some sort of weird like perverted shadow way that's coming out. Like when I'm seeing like Spirit showing me an image of like you get off on something, but because you don't give yourself permission to get off on that thing, and this could be so deep, you then hate on people that go after what they get off on. So I see like a lot of you talk, like basically channeling your fire to like, you know, talk crap about people. Maybe that's what you get off on, and that's a different story. But what I'm telling you is like, there's something here that you want to analyze, like how your ego is holding you back from pushing forward. Because if you just let it rip as a Leo, like people are going to move out of your way. You just got to like get these wires. Like you got to like, some of your wires are like really messed up is what, honestly like what I'm sensing. And some of you it's going to be a quick fix. If you know you've been doing the work, it's not really that deep. Or you understand everything I'm saying, nothing is going over your head, then it's not that really deep. You just have to make a decision to share. I mean, the Queen of Swords here is someone who is a little bit cold. I mean, you're being really called to really figure things out in your life. Like, what are your core values, you know, and are you living up to that? And also the 6 of Pentacles here is you got to enter the law of exchange with what you get off on. I don't know what is wrong with society that people really haven't got it yet. I mean, like, I don't even understand why people are still like thinking that like anything isn't like what I'm getting from this, Leo, is like you have something very, and it could be very intimate to you, and so that could be part of the reason why you're not doing it. But you need to enter the law of exchange when it comes to what you get off on. So this could be joining something, or like sharing it with, like knowing that what you personally get off on has more value than $1 billion. All right. When we look at someone like, many of you know the actor like Danny DeVito, he's like a really short guy. He's hilarious. But what he has is unity of heart and mind. I want you to start like sharing what you get off on, surrounding yourself with people who also get off on the same thing as you, and like realizing it's okay to do that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know who this reading is for, but I just feel like you're like you have like the universe has a plan for you, like starseed. Like the seed of your own greatness is lying within, and with the Magician being your opportunity, it's your opportunity to really bring that out of yourself. So, with that being said, Leo, let's go ahead and see why the Magician is here. God, I miss doing tarot so much. Let's see why the Magician is here in your opportunity for. Why is he in your opportunity for March? All right, let's go ahead and see. The Magician is clarified by the Seven of Wands in reverse, the Eight of Swords in reverse, and also the Two of Swords here, Leo, when it comes to your opportunity here. So I'm getting a bunch of different things from this here. The first thing with the Two of Swords here is like all your potential starts with not what you say yes to, but what you say no to. Right, Leo? So like in order to activate your potential, your highest timeline, and like start doing the things that you really get off on and like letting synchronicity guide you through a magical journey when you start to follow that thread, because it is all magical and connected unless you don't take the first step. There's something about like you saying no to certain things that you just know are not part of your ideal reality. Now, you also have the Seven of Wands in reverse, and you also have the Eight of Swords in reverse. So you're being given like I'm really seeing like just like sort of like a golden opportunity from the universe for you, that like all of your stuckness that you have, it could be years of conditioning, years of stuffing down what really gets you off. You almost have like this golden opportunity, like memento mori, be like, Leo, screw all that, like let's like don't worry about your conditioning, like let's just focus on, remember, one of the 5 laws of creation, everything is here and now. Okay, so you're not as like this universe is it is very elastic, it is very bendable, right? It's very things are not stuck, everything's moving, right? Like the 7 hermetic principles, nothing ever rests, everything is in motion, right? So you can use that to your advantage. Now, let's see why the 5 of Swords is here. For some of you, I'm also getting like you just think you know how reality works, and that's like holding you back. I would be surprised if those people are still watching the reading at this point, but it can manifest in certain lesser degrees as well. But like, you know, that's not like, if you go at this like, oh, I know this, I know that, you know, it's good to have a backbone, but like I learn from everyone. Like you could just you have to like at a certain point, you know what? I got this. All right. Why is the 5 of Swords here in your challenge for March 2023, Leo? Okay. You have the 8 of Wands. Five of Swords in your challenge is clarified by the Knight of Wands in reverse, the Chariot in reverse, and also the 8 of Wands. Okay, so Leo, you know exactly what it is that gets you off. You just don't know how to you just don't know how to implement it into physical reality. And it's like, if you really admit to yourself, like that's where you're stuck. The 5 of Swords is clarified by like, this is some sort of communication from spirit. Like you know what's dead in your life, right? The phoenix is going away, so you're transforming. Like, and on the inside, you know what's happening. Like you know your values are shifting. You know you're like, I'm not going to put up with that anymore. I'm just going to go do this. But when it comes to like taking that first step to like show the universe that I am acting, that like, you know, that's where your challenge is. Like, because this is in reverse. These are like this is physical action. So in order to really complete or to understand nuance of even the 5 laws of creation, like physical action is the language of physical reality. So it's up to you to take action on what you're visualizing, take action on these metaphysical ideas, because, yeah, all right, so let's see what the Devil's here as well. Why is the Devil card here for you? I just like, I don't know. Why is the Devil card here, Leo? You could also, some of you definitely have a choice in love here, by the way. The Devil, the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles. For those of you that are single or even in something, I apologize that I haven't said this earlier. You may have to choose between 2 different people, especially for those of you that are dating. You could be dealing with a water sign and an earth sign energy. You could just be dealing with water or earth in general. That's quite in your face in love. Why is the Devil card here for you in your overall general energy, though? Let's see. Why is the Devil card here? Okay, the Devil is clarified. 10 of Cups, the Devil, and also the Page of Wands here. Yeah, I just feel like you don't want to be seen as an idiot. I'm just going to be honest. Like, this is what I picked up. Like, you just don't want to be seen as an idiot. Like whatever this is that you are like starting to realize, okay, like I get off on this, like this is what I want to implement more into my character. I want to make this thing that I really like, only I know that I like it. I want to make this a forefront. I want to make this a cornerstone of my reality. Like a lot of you just, you don't realize how much conditioning from your upbringing is holding you back. I'm going to be honest. Like the 10 of Cups to the Devil, the Page of Wands, like it's just like you've let, like a lot of your own thoughts are not even your own thoughts. And this is really you. Like this is you, adventurous, open-minded, flowing through life. But you have all these like ideas of like how you should be living your life, basically, that's holding you back from even getting the ball moving. Like a lot of you are listening to this, it's going right over your head. Whoop, whoop, whoop. You know what I mean? So I can only give you the messages. Now, for others of you though, if that's not really thing, if that's not really your message, then there is something about commitment versus freedom, especially in love. Like you may be dealing with a toxic person that you may be believing in the potential of someone, but you may have to make a more practical choice. That's just what I'm getting. Also, especially for those of you dealing with someone that you're overlooking their flaws, especially with that Magician and your opportunity to the Two of Swords, stop believing in other people's potential. Believe in your potential. Don't believe in other people's potential. It's just what I got. Let's also see why the Hierophant is here. Why is the Hierophant here in what you don't see coming? Because it is right next to that Seven of Wands. Yeah. The Hierophant is clarified by the Knight of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, and the Tower here. Okay, so a lot of you here, when you break away from some sort of like power structure, whether it just be like cultural conditioning, like certain thoughts about like why it is that you're not going to take action on what it is that gets you off in this life, you're just worried like, okay, my ego's going to blow up. Like when people figure out, like it could even be a few people like, oh, they know what I like. Now my ego's ruined, and they're going to be a little bit emotional about it. The Tower, the Seven of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles here. So something's coming to an end whether you like it or not. That's why the Phoenix rising to ashes. Like you can't keep lying to yourself. Like something about a tradition, a certain way of thinking, a certain way of working, being, living is coming to an end. And I feel like there's a lot of resistance to like how long it's going to take you to basically live a life that feels good, a life that you don't have to cope with, a life that like you don't have to have coping mechanisms for because it feels so good. Like that's something we're all moving towards. But what I will say to this, Leo, is I would just like swallow the bitter pill of reality, whatever that means for you. This could be committed, a relationship coming to an end, whatever. Now let's go to your advice, right? I am interested in why the Six of Pentacles is here. Yeah, you have the World popping out. Six of Pentacles is clarified by the World, the Four of Swords, and also the Six of Pentacles here. Okay, I was going to go into all this, but this is the final message I'm going to leave you with because of how powerful it is. Ready? I hope you're listening. The Six of Pentacles is clarified by, first of all, the Six of Pentacles. That means what I'm telling you is on point. Whenever I get a duplicate, I ask the universe, don't send me a duplicate unless it's on point. What this means is you need to enter the law of exchange. What you put out is what you get back when it comes to what you personally get off on, because it's going to be a very healing experience to you on the inside and the outside. The best joy of this life is if you can find something you love, if you can find something that lifts you up, that you get off on, and you can share it with other people. The best joy in this life is not receiving, it's learning to give, because the more you give, the more you get. And when you have this overflowing thing, ever since I started sharing this mystic stuff that I just personally get off on, my whole life is transformed into an upward spiral. And the reason that is because I've entered the law of exchange. All right, Leo, so the time just literally went off. Like I went over the time limit of this reading. So you need to start giving, because that honestly beats out receiving. And the more you give, the more you receive anyway. So with that being said, I'm going to conclude this reading. I hope that this helped you, and I'll talk to you next time.